And welcome to Keeping It Real. I'm David Grossman. So good to be here today. We have an exciting show for you today, streaming live on live stream here at All Talk TV at our kiosk studio at Dufferin and Steeles. Great to be back for another show. We have an exciting one lined up for you today. First, in the hot seat, we have Joel Steinberg. Did I say that right? Friedman.
You got it.
We're off to a bad start. Okay, Joel Friedman. I don't know why I had that name. I hope you can forgive me.
Grocery business.
Grocery business. I think I dealt with somebody with that name before. Anyhow, Joel is a franchise man. He's had lots of experience in the food industry, and he's got a couple of franchises that he's working on very aggressively. I was at one of them last night, the Mad Italian. Great place. We're going to be talking about that. And we're going to be also talking with Darren Gradis. He's the CEO of Canada Restoration Services. We're going to be talking about mold, when mold is a deal breaker. He's a guy who knows his stuff. We also have back again today, we had with us last month, delighted to have back in the studio, Gary Nuska, founder and president of ICIWorld.net. We're going to be talking about some awesome apps for real estate agents. Here's a man who's dedicated, it seems he's dedicated his life to providing amazing tools for real estate agents to help them do their thing, communicate, get information. First, let's talk to Joel. Joel, it was so nice to meet you recently and learn about your franchises. I was at the Mad Italian last night, as I said. Great experience there. There are there's three Mad Italians. To Toronto. One is on the Danforth, one is in Little Italy, and one is at Bayview and Eglinton, where I saw you last night, but you were so intense in your meeting I didn't want to disturb you. But really enjoyed it. Great experience. So let's take a little bit of a step back. Tell us about some of your background, because your company JSF Franchise is working on these, but there's a number of projects that you're working on, and you're also open to taking on new projects.
For sure. I mean, I've been in the restaurant business for years and years. I won't mention how many years, but it's been a while. I grew up in the restaurant business, started off with companies such as McDonald's, Prime Restaurants, Second Cup, Shoeless Joe's, and was both in the operational side of it and in the franchising and real estate side of it. So a few years ago, I decided to go on my own and bring in a few companies and help them grow. And that's what I'm doing now.
And that's what you're doing. And you're also working with Pine Mount Food Services as their VP. So you're president of your own company, JSF Franchise, and we've got the website there, by the way, jsffranchising.weebly.com. And you're also VP of development for Pine Mount Food Service, helping them with some of their brands. So let's talk a little bit more about the Mad Italian, because it's a very interesting business. First of all, I see it from a standpoint of a consumer. Hopefully we'll have some people watching today that are thinking about businesses that they can refer their clients to. But as a consumer, I thought it was, you have these Zazu cones. Is that what they're called? These pizza cones?
Yeah, they're literally a pizza in a cone. So about a year ago, we decided to have cold cones, which we had. So those were our gelato cones, and we decided that we need something that's hot. Right. So we introduced hot cones. We saw the concept in Italy, and we brought it to Toronto. We started off with 3-4 flavors, and now we're up to 15 different flavors.
Right, and those were very good, because I remember when I was younger, I used to go for panzeratos, but they were deep fried. And this reminded me of it, but it's not deep fried. It's just baked.
No, it's baked in a special oven designed for the pizza cones, imported from Italy. So we basically put the ingredients that's supposed to be in it, put it into the oven, and 5 minutes later it comes out all crisp. One of the benefits of the Zazu cones is that when you eat a pizza slice, everybody always gets the sauce all over their shirt. So this way, it prevents this. This is for mobility. Right. And no one ever has got any sauce over their shirts so far.
Right. So it's very easy to pick up and walk around with if you're looking for a quick bite or whatever. But it's also a nice environment, and where you can have a good cup of coffee, espresso, and of course a gelato, which seems to be a very big trend now. The gelato trend seems to be really picking up steam.
Yeah, you know what? Our gelato is an old Italian family recipe. We've kept the recipes, we've inherited the recipes from the family and maintained them. Gelato, soft serve is all becoming more and more popular these days. People's taste buds are risen a little bit, and they want better products. And that's what the gelato delivers. And it also has less fat and less
Right.
calories also.
Right, which is a good. So you can have a good meal and not like you don't have to roll yourself out of there. It was very good, and the Greek salad was also good. It had a very good. It reminded me of a homemade dressing my wife used to make when she had more time. It was very tasty, garlicky, like a homemade dressing.
All of our products are homemade. There are recipes. They were designed for the Mad Italian. Everything is cooked on site. And we then deliver it to our stores. Everything is fresh, and the product's fresh, and so is the Zazu hot cones.
Yeah, and there's a liquor license too.
Yes, so there's an opportunity to have a glass of wine, sambuca. Those are probably the two big things that we do serve.
Right, and I took home some Nutella gelato because that's my daughter's favorite flavor. So
And
I was a hero last night when I came home with that.
Everybody loves our Nutella. You put Nutella in everything. And we are expanding our gelato line. Right now we do a bacon caramel. So we put bacon
I noticed that.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
That's very different. Yeah.
Everybody comes in and says bacon in ice cream,
Right.
and it tastes marvelous. You always have your pistachio, which we feel is the best in the market out there. It's an all natural pistachio, and then we have all the other flavors that we add. We do have a chef that actually comes up with the recipes and the flavors for our gelato. So we're always coming up. In the summer, we added a strawberry basil, and it was
Interesting.
very, very good, the two mixtures together.
The flavor of the month was a ricotta something, and I asked the girl for a taste of it, and it was very good. Because I'm a cheesecake person, so I thought I would try that, and it was very good.
It was a lemon ricotta.
Yeah.
And it was fabulous. And again, we want people to come in. We give all the samples they want. We want everybody to taste as many gelato as they want. Then they know what it tastes like.
So it looks like a very good business opportunity too. From a business point of view, if somebody's thinking about buying a franchise, buying a business, what does it look like from the business side to run and manage and so on?
Yeah, our place is about 1,300 square feet. 1,600 is probably the biggest that we will go. We've implemented systems in there that are so simple to run. We have a staff of about 8 to 10 people, so it's not a large staff, so it's very manageable. Really our key is we're really a little bit for everything. I mean, we have our food program, so we have our lasagnas, our macaroni and cheese. We have a dessert program. We have a fantastic coffee imported from Italy that we have. So it's a year-round business. And that's the key.
Right.
And it also offers that alcohol where someone wants to come in and just have a nice glass of wine.
So that's a good one for people to look into. And I can also say personally, because I approached you about talking to you about my own business, if somebody wants to buy a franchise or they think they have a business concept that they could grow, you're open to talking with people.
Yes, I mean, one of my skills has been both in the operational side, in the franchising side, and also in the marketing side of it. So I'm always looking for other people to bring their business to me. I'm the type of person that will tell you whether or not it can be franchised or not. And these days, franchising is the biggest thing. It's the way to go. It's built security for the people, and you pay for other people to do the work for you and come up with the ideas. So I'm always willing to look at ideas, and you never know, all ideas are good ideas.
Right, maybe they just need to be massaged or, help figure out how to get something to the next level. Okay, so the other franchise that you are busy with these days, one of the other franchises you're very busy with is Shamrock Burgers, which looks very good too. There's a couple of locations.
Yeah, there's 2 locations, one in Whitby and one in Scarborough. This location's been around, the one in Scarborough, for 43 years. You don't see
43 years.
Yeah, you don't see businesses last that long. And it goes back to back to the basic, is a good product, good service, and good value. And basically what has happened is the owner, which was two brothers, has stepped down, and they've passed it on to the next generation in their family, and they now too have wanted to turn it into a franchise model.
Right. Okay. So you've been talking to them about how to move it to the next level, and there's an eating contest going on. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, they have a Monster Sham, which is a 20-ounce burger.
Whoa.
And it's huge. And what we've decided to do, and they did it in the 1970s. They did a eating competition. So we want to go back to the basics and do what we did that made us successful back in the 70s. And so what we are challenging our stores is each store, one in Scarborough and one in Brooklyn Whitby, they're going to have a face-off in January where the people, the customers, and we're going to the customers to see who wants to eat the most Shamrock burgers.
So do you remember what was the maximum number of burgers? Did people actually?
There was the maximum was 4 burgers.
4. So 80 ounces.
80 ounces.
Yeah, that's a lot of meat.
Yeah.
So that's happening on January 13th. The
semifinals are happening in each store. One is going to happen at 1 o'clock. The other one's going to happen at 4:30, and then we will have in February the finals, where the 2 top people from each store are going to face off.
Well, that sounds like fun. So, but if people are watching, I've looked at the menu. We've got some pictures rolling. The food looks really good. And from a business point of view, what's required? What kind of skills do people need to have to step into a Shamrock Burger restaurant?
It's a very simple. It's all the burgers are grilled, made fresh, and again it goes back to fresh products. And again, it's a very simple model. 8 to 10 people, 2 people on the floor at all times. It is again about 1,100 square feet that we need in the real estate side of it. We're looking all over Ontario. And the skills is really, in any of my businesses, you need to have some business acumen, and you have to actually enjoy people and like people and enjoy customers.
Right. That's the key. And of course, when you buy a franchise, you get the benefit of somebody else's hard work and creativity with the owners who have started a system, and then you've stepped in at some point, I guess, to help really make it so it's ready to roll. Yeah,
in any of my past, the franchisees that have been successful, and this is a key learning that any franchisee of any of my past experience, when they follow the system, they have been successful. The most successful franchisee, for example, in Prime Restaurant, follows their system to the key. They support it, they back it, they implement the standards, and that's what we ask for. You're buying a franchise for our system, so you need to follow the system. It's those people that don't follow the standards or follow the systems that get themselves in trouble. And that's part of my background, that I help people when they get into the system, and when I qualify them, I ask them if they can, really understand and follow a system.
Right, and you help people find the right location as well, I suppose.
For sure. You know what, they always say location, location, and I believe in that 100%, that it is about the location, but it's also about the operator. Give, a B location, an A operator will still be successful, and that's the key.
Right. Well, Joel, I'm really glad that we connected. I'll just mention a couple of the other things you are working on. You're working with Eastside Mario's, Prime Pubs, UPS stores, I Quit Smoking clinics, and the waiting game publications, which we talked about before, is where people can have stuff to read in doctors' offices and things like that. So there's a number of projects that you're working on. You've got Eastside Mario's available for sale, Café in Waterloo and Mississauga, a Café Franchise in Barrie, and a casual chain for sale in Southwestern Ontario. So people should contact you. We'll get your number on the screen, your website for more information. As I said before, if somebody is thinking about developing their own franchise, which, as you know, I am, and I was so pleased to have met you. to have a good talk about that. So Joel Friedman is the guy to talk to about franchises. Joel, thank you so much for being here today. Really appreciate it. Good luck with that eating contest.
I'm glad I'm not it.
We'll have to send, maybe I can send the camera guy over to watch that one. We're going to be right back in just a moment talking with Darren Gradis from Canada Restoration Services, and coming up shortly, we're also going to be talking with Gary Nuska from ICIWorld.net. Hang in there. We'll be back in just a minute.